guys, and welcome back. Today is a sad day. We're saying goodbye to a very, very old friend of mine. Who is this friend? This is a friend that's been with me for nigh on, I'd say, about 5 years now. And unfortunately, his time was at an end, and we now have to salute him and say goodbye. That is unfortunately my Xbox V2 Elite controller. It's finally given up the ghost. It's had enough. It's been a long time coming, to be fair. I'm impressed with how long it's lasted, and I am utterly shocked that it didn't die from stick drift. It just is having trouble staying connected to stuff and keeps dropping out now, unfortunately. It had its last good run with the devil in me, and didn't disconnect, but now, ever since that, and I've gone back to the Xbox, it will not stay connected anymore. It's getting a little bit clattery, a little bit rattly, and it was time to say goodbye. So it's now going to be resigned to the spare cupboard as a just-in-case controller, just in case anything goes wrong. And off the back of this, though, we're welcoming a new friend to the family. I went out and looked at several different options this time. I looked at Scuff, I looked at Cronus, which I avoided because I was worried about all those people getting banned. And I am nothing if not loyal. And we've got a V3 controller, so there is a grand tradition on this channel of reviewing every single one of these. I have the version 1 review a few years back in my channel, which has been one of my most popular videos, and the version 2 versus the version 1. So if you're interested in either of those, go check them out. Still very, very relevant. This is still the V2 is still a very relevant controller at the moment. And you know what? I say V3. It's not really V3. It is an Elite Series 2 core. So that should give you a clue. So just before we get in it and open it up, and I'll show you what's in the box. I sat down to do... So I bought a new controller purely out of necessity. I wasn't expecting to come and do this review or anything like that. That wasn't the purpose of me getting a controller. And I went away, did my usual thing where I sit down and I research everything about the controller and try and pick out like what was new, what was different from the old one. And it turns out this is probably going to be a very short video because what the things that are different is from this is essentially nothing. There is nothing that is different apart from the really cool white and black thing that we've got going on with it. There is nothing new except for big difference is the V2 comes with what they have now called the player pack for this. I think it's the player pack, or is that the Scuff version? It's the accessories pack anyway that comes with the case and the charger and in doing my research, interestingly enough, I did not realize that the charger could be removed from the box, from the case. And now I know that that's made my life 10 times easier. The things you learn, it's like I'm only taking me 5 years to realize. And so this one, the core one, actually comes without the little accessories and doodahs, which is cool, and it's bad. So if you're in the market for a brand new Pro controller and you have none of the accessories like I have, then I would say it's sort of a little bit of a jip, really. For want of a better word. And but on the plus side, I have a controller that's died, I wanted to replace it, and I didn't have to buy the accessories again and have 2 sets of accessories like floating around and pay extra for them. So this cost me the grand total of £130, once again from Game, so thank you Game, again. Used some of my reward credit again towards this, so I got it a little bit cheaper as well, which is cool. And the accessories pack comes in at do you know what? I'm not sure what the accessory pack comes in at. I didn't look because I was more interested in buying the controller. I will make sure there's a graphic below with the price and for the accessory pack. And so yeah, I'm intrigued. I don't think it's going to be... One thing that I was really disappointed... I'm just going to open it up. One thing that I was really disappointed that was missing from this when they announced it, I was really, really hoping that we'd get haptic feedback this time, like the PlayStation. Unless the PlayStation has the monopoly on that sort of thing, as in has a patent. I do not know. So, what's in the box? What's in the box? A controller? So what accessories does it come with out the box then, being as it doesn't come with everything? So it comes with... I'll check out the rest of the box in a second. So this is the one. I'd say it's a lot prettier. It's white. It's now going to get very grubby. But it does look cool. It comes with this really awkward, like, fully directional D-pad thing that I've never liked because you just end up catching multiple buttons and it just I don't know, it seems to confuse the situation ever so slightly. Still got the 3 profiles. So press the button in the middle, change the profiles, which is cool. It comes with the shorter sticks, which is nice. They're all magnetized and can be swapped out for the ones that are in the accessory pack or the old Elite controller, which is cool. Just to prove a point that some of the other fixtures and fittings do fit, I'm just going to show you. So if I take off mine, so I just have the shorter sticks on the back because I have small hands. And this is another reason why I looked at the Scuff, to be honest, because they've got shorter paddles, and I think that's the way to go, personally. However, the reason I went with one of these over a Scuff is, have you seen how much the Scuff controllers are? That just seems a bit... £209 for one that does the same thing as the Elite, and for it to be official and to know that it's not going to get banned from anywhere, like if you use it, for example. So, and that's even before you buy the accessory pack for the Scuff. That's just like basic faceplate, basic sticks, basic buttons, no customization whatsoever. The one I was going to get was fully customized, and then when I saw the price, I nearly died. So I customized it all up, added the pack for the little extra add-ons, the extra sticks and whatnot, and it came to something like £346 with delivery to the UK, and I'm like, no, my YouTube isn't doing that good yet. So first thing I'm going to do is swap out this horrible D-pad thing. I hate these. I've said this before on the channel. Look, some people love them, some people kind of like Marmite, I guess. It just depends. But this is the reason why we have Pro controllers, because I hate them, but, you know, other people like them. So just swap that in, and that looks pretty slick, actually. Even though it's like a black on a white controller, that looks pretty cool. I love how, like, the letters and the buttons are, they've done the same thing and taken the colour out. And, like, yeah, sweet. Because we've got the profile button, I'm also gutted that there's no share button. I was really hoping that there'd be like a quick share button on the new one, and they would have taken that on board and thought about that, but apparently not. I mean, you can program this to act as the share button, but then you can't switch the profile, so it seems pointless. I mean, you can if you go into the firmware, but again, we've got these hair triggers, and instead of it being some on the back last time, it just kind of blended in with the back of the controller. Now it stands out against the controller, which I think is better. I don't know if you can see that. And I always have these down to literally their shortest setting, so they're as close to a mouse click as you're going to get with this controller. Again, if we're going to be comparing it to the Scuff and the Kronos and ones like that, from the research that I did, these hair triggers, there is a little bit. So with the Microsoft one, there is a little tiny bit of a distance there, whereas some of the other Pro ones that are more expensive, they are just like a mouse click. So apparently they're a lot more responsive. Not £200 worth of responsive, but... so yeah, so these are the back paddles. They just come up. They just come off. Honest. and they can just slot right back into the same place on the back. Number one. Nope, number one. And number two. Apparently. So they don't go in quite as easily as the others, but they are in now. Exactly the same feel. I don't think anything much has changed there. For those of you who haven't seen my past videos, I will put a link on this video in case you do want to go and check it out. But for those of you who haven't, my actual setup with this, so the reason I have this is for Call of Duty. To be honest, I don't really have it for any other reason. Although it does come in handy in other games as well. I just find that I don't tend to use back paddles as much in other games. But it's the back paddles which are the real bonus here for me. So I have this one matched to my reload and this one matched to my stim. Or my equipment or whatever I've got whatever I've got attached at the time. And then I can retain this position without coming off this stick to do things here and this stick to do things here. So that means I'm a little bit more responsive when it comes to if I'm just reloaded or whatever. I can still move around and easily I can still spin around potentially. I guess it's a bit of a. One thing I have noticed about COD lately is obviously they cancelled the auto. They cancelled the reload cancelling, which I know sounds confusing, but bear with me. I'm going to explain it. Which means that basically if you start to reload, you must continue to reload and you can't cancel it. And you can't shoot in the middle of it to stop the reload essentially. Which means that yes, you could argue there's less of a benefit there, but it also means that when I'm reloading, I can look around at the same time. I can at least be aware of my surroundings and see if I need to move out of the way. So it does still have a benefit there, which is cool. You now got this really cool feature that you didn't have when I did the last review. And when you hook this up to an Xbox, you can change the colour of the guide button, which is pretty slick. So I have been doing that with mine lately. You may have noticed that my guide colour had changed to green to match all my Xbox. I'm a big fan of matching colours, which is why I've got the nano leafs and the colours in the PC and everything else. So that's pretty slick. Although, ironically, now it's a white controller, the white guide button's going to look a lot better. And I'll probably just stick to the white one and not change it. So, go figure. So, as for the rest of the box, I think we get a charging cable again. Yep, we do. Goody gumdrops. So, and you know what? These controlling cables for the Elite controllers are some of the best I've seen. It's this beautiful braided cable, which is so durable. I have a cat and a kitten, and the kitten loves to chew everything in sight. I installed ambient lights on my TV, and within a day he chewed through the bottom strip light, and it was gone. So this really helps. There's no way he's had to go at it a couple of times and not managed to get through it or anything. So, and you know what? You can't really tell because this is bunched up, and I'm not gonna unravel it because I'm a very small person. I still don't think I'll be able to make the stretch, but they're actually super long as well, so you can sit back. I used to have, when I had a home theatre set up in the living room, and I was smack bang in the centre of the room, the cable would still reach all the way out to the sofa, which is nice. At my desk here, it's useful as well because I'm literally, as you can probably see, well, you can't see, but what you can't see off camera is that I'm literally buried in wires all the time, and things have to cross over each other and all sorts. So yeah, but so having that extra sort of footage on the wire really helps, which is cool. I think it's something like 6 feet. I'll confirm that and make sure it's in the graphic down below. So I don't know what else we get in the box. I'm presuming that's everything. Although, there seems to be some sort of secret dossier. Ah, yes, of course. How could I forget? Right, so you can also, really neat feature that I didn't talk about last time because I lost my tuning pin, is you can actually tune these up. You can take the sticks off, and you know what? I'll show you on the old controller because I don't want to change anything on the new one yet. I want to make sure I get it right. But if I take the sticks off and get this tuning pin out, so it's a little key that goes into the. You can just see, and the core one is exactly the same as this. There's a kind of like a little cross-hatched bit. The camera's not going to focus because of I've got it on manual focus, but there's like a little cross-hatched bit just here. Okay, and this little key can fit into the crosshatch bit, just like a Phillips head screwdriver, and you can mess around with that. You can tighten these up, and now it's a little bit stiffer. And then if I were to go, back the other way, they get a lot looser. So it depends on, whether you want that fluid movement in the stick or you want it to be quite light. Again, mine's getting quite rattly and whatnot, so it probably doesn't feel the same. I actually tend to leave mine sort of in the middle, so I've got the flexibility and the stiffness. Wow, you really are rattling, you poor old boy. Can you hear that? So this little bit is a game changer for some people. Personally, like I said, I don't like to tune mine up, but again, it's nice to have the option, and this is why these controllers exist, so that you can mess around with that kind of stuff. And maybe I will this time. Maybe I'll try it on like a tighter or looser setting and just see if it makes any difference. Maybe I just wasn't being very open-minded before, but let's be open-minded this time. In this little envelope, we also have several manuals. Why do I have like 4 manuals for one controller? I've literally got 4 manuals and I have no idea why. Are they all in different languages? Well... Oh yeah, that's in a foreign language. So yeah, it just tells you literally how to connect and how to configure it, how the hair triggers work, how to turn it on, connect it, all the usual stuff. Using the Xbox Accessories app and how to change the guide call button, things like that. But yeah, 4 manuals seems overkill. Just put it all in one. I'm just going to bin the other 3. Standard stuff like something in Chinese that I can't read, and I presume that's a warranty. Yeah, warranty and registry guide. So it is quite thin on the ground, what you get with this one. But you know what? It's fine, because I'm just replacing a controller. And maybe, look, a lot of these have gone, according to Stick Drift. I've been incredibly lucky, apparently, that mine hasn't gone that way. To be fair, I have treated mine like my only child, and no one's ever come near it, touched it, taken bits off it, or thrown it around the room. And it actually is incredibly good at stopping my gamer rage, because I don't want to throw it across the room. So I've, maybe it's the way I've looked after mine, maybe I've just been lucky, I don't know. But it's a good, I'd say, testament to the fact that they can last that long. But we'll see how long this one lasts, we'll see if it's as durable, because that's the thing that I can't tell. I mean, when you take it out and you hold it up, like weight-wise, I mean, it literally... wrecking the place. It literally feels exactly the same weight, so I literally don't think anything's changed there. Maybe the core's a tiny bit lighter, but yeah. But still. You can actually cut the option now from Microsoft to customize these as well. You can actually buy a customized one if you want I believe. I just needed one now, so I didn't go for that option. I may do one day. I did have a custom controller years ago. It was fantastic, and I loved it to bits. It was the Elite Series 1. And unfortunately, that one died as well. That one I bought secondhand, so I have no idea how long that one lasted. My first one got destroyed by cash converters, along with my special edition Xbox, which I'm still angry about to this day. I'm just not letting that go. So usually there's a bit of a tradition that we do gameplay with these controllers as well. I'm not going to do that this time. And the reason being is, you know what, if it would have been new and had new features, and I would have had something new to bring to the table by showing you gameplay with it, then I totally would have done. And look, guys, if you want gameplay, ask me for it, that's fine. And not to mention, all of my other videos and everything will be done with this going forward, so, you know, that's probably a good way to pick it up and see a bit of gameplay with it as well. And you know what? Coming back to watch more videos is always good, right? That always makes me happy. So, yeah, I don't really have anything new to show you gameplay-wise. You'd just be watching me play COD again, which, you know, you're going to see on the channel anyway, and I feel it doesn't add any value to the video whatsoever, so I'm not going to do it. If they bring out an all-new singing, all-new dancing with haptic feedback, then yeah, maybe, cool. But as it stands, it's not worth it. So guys, I've just got one last thing to talk about with these controllers, and that is the hairline triggers. Just go into those in a little bit more detail. So I say this every video, but just in case you're new and you're just seeing this for the first time, this concept is not new. So when Modern Warfare 2 was out, the original Modern Warfare 2, not the new one, it became customary for gamers to jam a pentop lid inside their trigger. It still connected and made the hits, but it made the time to like decrease the button a lot less. And what it used to do as well, I've been told it doesn't do this with the new COD games, but originally back with that one, the first bullet out of the gun fired ever so slightly faster, like a millisecond faster. And it tricked the game into thinking that every bullet was the first bullet because the controller wasn't fully depressed. So, it wasn't depressed, it was a very happy controller. And now so much that doesn't apply, because I was looking back and watching the older videos for this, obviously, when I was coming up to do this new one. And realised that wasn't the case, so I thought that might be worth mentioning. However, you're not stuck with that setting. There's a few switches on the back where you can turn it back into a normal controller if you so wish. You can even have it halfway if you want a good medium. So that means if you switch back to your racing games like NFS Unbound, I think just came out today, something like that. So you can slowly increase your acceleration and things like that. And then for your shooters, you can lock that down so you've got a little bit more control. And that's the only reason I tend to switch between the two, because even for things like FIFA and whatnot, which I play a fair bit of offline as well, that quick responsiveness is always good, and it can be the difference sometimes. But it's the only thing this doesn't work for, I'd say, is racing games that I've found so far, personally. It's obviously much better to have that responsiveness. Still got the nice little grips on the side that we had for the last one. Keep a good solid hold on the controller. Look, I can even do things like this. I can even do tricks. It's that good. So yeah, I guess that's everything. What do you guys think of the controller? You know, let me know and put it down in the comments. Do you think it's a bit of a rip-off, or do you think it's a good idea? I mean, me personally, I think it's a bit of both. I mean, I guess if you're coming into this as a new gamer, then yes, it is a rip-off because it costs you more with the other two together to get the one thing, the one package that I've got. However, one thing that I will say about the accessory package is that the things that are going to get you value here, and if you did want to save a bit of money and get this controller, and you can find like individual paddles or whatnot on eBay or Amazon or places like that. I don't know if you can, but I'd say these back paddles are the most important thing in that setup, to be honest. the sticks, yes, there's 3 different sticks, there's 3 different heights. One comes up to like here, and then you've got here, and then you've got the short, stubby ones that come with it anyway. I don't ever switch from the short, stubby ones. I mean, Xbox designed it that way for a reason. I don't like the fact like it just sticks all the way up here. To me, that seems very, very unnatural. But again, I've got smaller hands, so maybe you would prefer the bigger ones. I'd say if you want to save a bit of money, get your configuration in accessories and buy that separately, rather than getting like the whole pack and save a bit of money. The case is nice, the charger's nice. To be fair, I didn't even know that this charger existed. The dock thing, well, I didn't know it existed, but I didn't want to have the case out every time I charged it. But it can be lifted out the case and put onto the side or whatever. This works just fine, just plugging it in via the cable. You know, and especially like you can even keep it wrapped up if you want to keep it tidy. And just plug the 2 ends in, which is what I'll probably end up doing. But yeah, it works just as well doing this. You know, the dock's just a nice little, if you want to spend the extra. So I'm looking forward to actually getting into some gaming with it. I'm not going to do, like I said before, I'm not going to do any gameplay because I don't think there's anything to add particularly to the experience. So guys, that's me done. If you did like the video and you like the controller, drop me a like down below. It all helps out, and I'd be really happy to have you in the community if you wanted to subscribe. We just had, and I just wanted to say thank you actually, because we just had the biggest series ever with The Devil in Me, and I was super happy with the result from that. And I tried to put a little bit more work into the videos, like editing wise, to add a little bit more to that as well. So I'm super happy with the way The Devil in Me went. So what have we got coming up next? I am really tempted to jump on the Callisto Protocol. I'm not sure when, because at the moment it's still a bit stuttery and juddery and whatnot. So we'll probably wait for that to calm down, and then we'll take a look at that, which is like seems like it's a Dead Space Resident Evil type crossover-y type thing. I don't know. I'd love to try. I still want to try and take out the Chemist on COD, but they're flip-flopping so much with what you're allowed and not allowed to do in DMZ that it's kind of making it difficult for me to give you anything consistent and show you anything consistent, because every method I come up with, they're nerfing it. So I would love to do that at some point. I think that's starting to stabilize now, so we'll probably try and take a look at that soon. We've got a really cool event coming to live before Christmas as well, and I might even save it to just before Christmas and do it as part of Jacksepticeye's Thankmas. And I'm thinking about doing a trolley problem stream where you guys get to hook in and decide the outcome. So kind of like, obviously, The Devil in Me, but a lot more tongue-in-cheek, except you guys get to pick where it's going alongside me. So that could be a little bit of fun over on Twitch. So if you did want to check that out, check out the Twitch channel as well, and come and say hi. We're all a friendly bunch over there. But guys, until next time, that's me done, and I'm going to be back in the next video. Why am I going to be back? Because gamers never die; they just evolve. See you next time, guys.